Love, light, and blessings. This shamanic work priestess here, and the topic of today's video is addressing spirit court. Everyone has spirits that we inherit. Spirits that, whether it's a very far removed family member who practiced a certain magical tradition, they had a group of spirits that either they themselves inherited or that called them into the path, and they started to serve this spirit. Okay. Even if no one in the family is serving these spirits, they're always around. Like, they're still part of your spirit core, whether you use these spirits or not. However, so a lot of times when people say, like, I had a dream of X spirit, a certain spirit has come to me, I'm drawn to this spirit or another, and so on and so forth. 9 times out of 10 is because someone in your family line served said spirit, and that spirit kind of feels like you're going into that path, so they're calling you back in. What makes family spirits and spirit core spirits strong is the more people in your family that use these spirits, the more stronger these spirits become with you. Like, you become stronger as a practitioner because these spirits become stronger. What makes spirits strong in closed tradition is the fact that people still serve them, and that people still withhold the tradition. There's power in tradition, there's power in secrecy, there's also power in passing down our spirits to our lineage. So the more people in a family that practices, the more magically powerful that family is, because there is power in a group of people that are having the same intention, that are invoking that same spirit. For instance, in a lot of Afro-Caribbean religious practices, we serve solitary, but we also serve in community. For instance, in Haitian voodoo, when we do fête guéré, usually it's a lot of family members and family and friends getting together in a large group of people celebrating a group of spirits, and things like that. This is why spiritual investigations are so important, because during a spiritual investigation, when you're going to your elder, someone who knows of the tradition and things like that, when you go to your psychic, when you go to your elder, they're going to be able to tell which spirits are in your spirit court. They're going to be able to help you serve these spirits with the traditions. And that's going to be powerful in itself, because you're going to be tapping into an energy that has existed in your family for hundreds and hundreds of years. It doesn't matter if there was a big break between when they were served, because the person who served them in your family, they were able to serve them very powerfully. So you're pretty much tapping into a spirit that was already always with you. And that's why a lot of people have been having dreams, or they see signs and they don't know why a certain spirit calls them. Most of the time is because somebody in your family served that particular spirit or those particular spirits. The spirits in my spirit court are in my spirit court, and my mother, my grandmother, my great-grandmother, my family has served these spirits for hundreds and hundreds of years. This is why things like a book of shadows, a book of mirrors, oral traditions, even before writing was done, these oral traditions are important, because you get to know what spirits your family served, who was in your spirit court, who is in your spirit court. I do perform spirit court readings, and I will be able to tell you who your spirit and your guides are. Now, they also have spirits in your spirit court that are not always necessarily inherited spirits. You can actually have spirits that, because you may be a psychic medium or something of that nature, even a spirit outside of your culture may call to you, because a lot of times when people pass away, they'll know when someone can see them, and they'll be able to know if that person can help them. So they'll make themselves known to you, and in exchange for your services, maybe helping them move on, maybe passing a message to a loved one, or whatever unfinished business they have that keeps them earthbound. Once you do that, like, they will then ascend and maybe later on come back as a spirit guide for you. Sometimes in your spirit court, you can have closer relatives. For instance, you may have a grandmother or a grandfather that practice, and they come back to you in dreams and things like that. They are also part of your spirit court, because we have ancestral spirit courts. You have spirits like the orishas, that maybe somebody in your family served those spirits, and therefore you inherited those orishas, or you inherited those loas, so on and so forth. So your spirit court can consist of a lot of different kinds of spirits, a lot of different cultural spirits, because a lot of people are mixed. So if you're mixed, you're going to probably have a whole bunch of different cultural spirits in your spirit court. Like me, I'm very mixed. I'm a very mixed person. So I have a lot of different cultures in my spirit court and things like that. So it's important to know who your spirits are, who's in your spirit court, how to serve these spirits and things of that nature. Especially, I always tell people, start with the ancestral spirits, your direct bloodline. I always feel like they will have, if they were good people in life. If they were not good people in life, then leave them alone. But if they were actually someone who had good intentions with you, they're going to make sure that whatever other spirits filter through them is a spirit that has good intentions. You know what I mean? So if you had a protective father, a protective mother, a protective grandparent, a protective great aunt, so on and so forth, and things like that, they're going to make sure that the person that's coming through is actually someone who has your best intentions. Why is it important to know who you're in your spirit court? There are certain spirits, there are certain comisiones, certain groups of spirits that unless they want to work with you and you have them in your spirit court, and they're either inherited or they just want to work with you even if they're not inherited, it doesn't matter what incense you buy, doesn't matter how nice the candles are, it doesn't matter how nice the altars are. You're going to find a lot of people, because I go through YouTube and I watch different, oh, such and such spirit didn't work for me. Oh, that spell didn't work when I used such and such spirit. This is why spirit court investigations are important, because if a spirit doesn't want to work with you, it's nothing that you do is going to make them want to work with you. You cannot bribe them. A spirit, it's a working relationship. They have to want to work with you as much as you want to work with them. Is why I tell people all the time, go to someone you trust, get a read if you feel like a spirit's calling you. So make sure that that's not only the true spirit, because there are spirits that are deceiving spirits that could pretend to be a spirit and they really aren't that spirit. I've had clients, people that I've started to work with, that think that a certain Orisha call them, and then they start tapping into it without knowing what they're doing. And it's actually like a very malice spirit. It's a earthbound person who's pretending to be a said spirit and causes chaos in their home, and so on and so forth. Or sometimes people try to force a spirit to work with them. They don't want to. If a spirit does not want to work with you, they will not work with you. When they do want to work with you, they will let you know. They will give you the financial money you need to get a mentor, to get initiated. If it's a closed tradition, they will provide what you need in order for you to follow these traditions, because they're calling you. They want you to be. Like when I got called in this path, all of a sudden all these doors opened up to me. And that's when I knew it was a calling, because I was dreaming. I was finding about spirits I never heard of. My mom and I got better, and she started mentoring me. That I had other godparents, and all these doors just started opening up to me and continued to be open to me. And I'm like, okay, I'm in the right path. You know what I mean? So this is why it's important to know who is in your spirit court. Who are your spirit guides? Who are the spirits that want to work with you in certain areas of your life? And I'm going to concentrate a lot on that in my classes, because it's important. We all don't. Oshun does not work with everybody. Yamayal does not work with everybody. Ezili Danto doesn't work with everybody. Ezili Freda doesn't work. Like, a lot of spirits don't work with everybody. They choose who they want to work with. La Malama doesn't work with everybody. El Indio Poderoso doesn't work. La Comisión de los Indios, they don't work with everybody. So it's important to have that foundation. It's important to know what spirits want to work with you, because it doesn't matter how you bribe them. If they don't want to do work for you, they won't. Like, you're just going to be wasting your time. And you might possibly risk making a spirit angry. We have to understand that a lot of these energies are ancient energies that existed before us. And we also have to put ourselves in their place, because even though they're not in the living world, they still have emotions and feelings like humans, because most of these spirits were human. How would you feel if you don't want to be friends with somebody for whatever reason, and that person is trying to force friendship on you, and not only try to force a friendship on you, try to get you to do things that you don't want to do because you may not particularly like this person for some reason? We have the right not to like certain people. We have the right not to be friends with certain people. even if it's not for a real reason. Like, we have the right to associate with who we want to associate with, and the spirits have that same right as well. So this is why it's important to know what spirits are in your spirit court. It's important to know how to read the signs when spirits actually want to work with you in an intimate setting. And even when they want to work with you, it's important to know what culture these spirits are coming from and how to properly address the spirits, salute the spirits, serve the spirits, build the altars in an appropriate way, which I'm going to make some future videos about that topic as well, about altars. There's more to an altar than just putting pretty things on an altar, getting a statue or a picture. There's so much that goes into an altar. An altar is a big responsibility, and I'm going to get into more details about that in future videos. But I just wanted to make this video just kind of stressing that it's important to know who's in your spirit court. And if you do want to work in a tradition that has deities, not everybody works with deities, but the ones that want to, especially if it's a culture outside of your own, you want to make sure these spirits want to work with you. There might be things you have to do in order for these spirits to have a working relationship with you. So anyways, much love, light, and blessings. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you would like a spiritual investigation, please email me. If you're interested in my hoodoo courses, the next bout's going to start in April of 2020. Let me know. There's 2 forms of payment plans on my website. If you have any questions, you could email me. And my website link is in every video that I create. I can tell you what spirits want to work with you and how to get your altars and offerings started, okay? Because it's important, even when a spirit wants to work with you, you have to build a relationship. You cannot just put an altar and start asking the spirits disrespectfully as if they're a short order cook, or, you know what I'm saying, it's a drive-through. Like, I'm going to get what I want, then I'm going to leave, and, you know, you can't do that. So this is a very serious thing when you take on a deity and when you start to serve a spirit and have a working relationship with them. You can't just get tired of them and throw them away, or get what you want and throw them away. That could have some very negative consequences, okay? Anyways, much love, light, and blessings. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. Until the next video, bye.